Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Practical English Brain once again. Our today's topic is present simple tense. We will be working on this tense in a very, very practical way. First, I'm going to explain all the aspects related to this tense, and then my students will be involved in the class. They'll be making examples. But before that, I want to ask some questions using simple present tense, and I just want to evaluate the understanding of my students to make sure how much they already know about this tense. So let's begin with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the heavens and the earth. If I ask you, lady, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Simple present tense, right?
I'm drinking water. I'm pregnant.
No. See, look. It's a kind of expressional phrase. If somebody's asking you, what do you do for a living, it means what's your job? Like, what's your occupation? Okay? So what do you do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
I'm a teacher, okay. What do you teach?
Primary classes.
Okay, I teach some classes, primary classes at a high school or at a
Private.
elementary, or okay, school, private school, okay. So, how often do you work on Facebook?
I don't have those.
I don't have any Facebook account. So she's using simple present tense. I don't have any, right? And my question is also with simple present tense, right? Qari swahib. Qari swahib. Do you exercise every day?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I do. The short answer, yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Okay. Does your brother go to university?
Yes, yes.
Yes, he does. Okay, simple present tense, right? Yes, he does. So there could be information questions. For example, where does your family live?
My family live in Kabul.
My family lives in Kabul city. Okay, after we're done with the explanation, inshallah, we can make more sentences and examples and everything. Now, all of you, please pay attention to the whiteboard, okay? You and the fans on YouTube. And I want to say something to the fans on YouTube. If you have any questions regarding English grammar or related to this topic, please ask your questions below, okay? Post your questions, post your comments, and write your suggestions. What else you want? I mean, what else do you want to be recorded in the future? Okay. So now, please pay attention over here. Present simple tense. Keep in mind that each tense has one main usage, or one or two, three main usages, and it has some extra usages as well. We can use one tense for different purposes. Okay? So the main usage of present simple tense is to talk about habitual, regular, and daily actions. And also we can use this tense to talk about facts. Okay? So the very, very simple definition of this tense would be present simple tense is used to talk about an action that is regular, habitual, or gradual. It can be also used to talk about facts. So there are two types of facts, general facts and universal facts. So general facts are changeable. Universal facts are not changeable. For example, if I say she looks happy today, so it's a general fact. She may not be happy tomorrow. Okay, it's changeable, right? If I say you are students, so it is also a general fact which is changeable. You may not be students in the future. After you graduate from university or school, you may become doctors, engineers, and teachers. So you may not be. So it's a kind of general fact. So it is changeable fact. Keep in mind that And don't forget this. We have two types of facts, general facts and universal facts. General facts are changeable. Universal facts are not changeable. So an example of universal facts. The sky is high. It's not changeable. The sky will be always high. So it is a universal fact and it is not changeable, right? For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very kind. It's universal fact. It's not changeable. Okay? He's always kind, right? So now, using simple present tense, we can talk about these kind of actions. Now look, and pay attention to the explanation of these sentences in the structure. The structure is pretty easy for simple present tense. Subject plus verb, base form. Because each verb has 4 forms, right? First or base form, second form, third form, and ing form. But in simple present tense, you use the first form of a verb, okay? And then if, now look, is or is. Now if your subject is he, she, it, or singular noun, a singular noun, Ahmad, Mahmoud, the boy, the girl, like just one person or one thing, okay? Then the verb takes is or is in affirmative sentences. In what kind of sentences? In positive or affirmative sentences. And if you want to make like interrogative sentence, like a yes-no question, or a negative sentence, or for example, information question, your auxiliary or helping verb with these, subjects should be does. Okay? He goes to school. Does he go to school? Doesn't he go to school? Okay. He doesn't go to school. Why does he go to school? See, in all these questions, you need the helping verb does with these subjects. Okay? And if you want to use to be verbs in simple present tense, is, am, are, then with these subjects, you need is. He is a student. It is also simple present tense. You talk about a fact, which is changeable, which is a general fact. He is a student, right? Okay? Or she is, for example, she is angry today. She is angry today. So it's a fact. What kind of fact? General fact. It's changeable. She may not be angry after an hour, right? Okay. And if your subject is I, you, we, they, or a plural noun, okay, instead of Ahmad and Mahmoud, if you mention two people as a subject, right? Or for example, the students, the boys, the girls, plural noun, okay? Then the verb does not take is or is. The verb in affirmative sentences and simple sentences doesn't need is or is, okay? And if you want to use a to be verb, the to be verb is do, not does. Okay, just to give you some more examples. For example, you learn English. Do you learn English? Don't you learn English? You don't learn English. Why do you learn English? See, in all these affirmative, interrogative, in negative interrogative, in negative sentences or information questions, you use do. So the auxiliary, the helping verb is do. Inshallah, I will have a video, a lesson about the importance of helping or auxiliary verbs. Here, I don't want to go into too much details, but in that video, which will be recorded after this video, inshallah, I'll be explaining auxiliaries in all 12 tenses and their importance in English language, okay? So, like, auxiliary verb doesn't have any meaning in a sentence. This much is enough for you now. An auxiliary or helping verb doesn't carry any meaning in a sentence. It is there just for the grammatical function. If we do not have the auxiliary do, does here, of course, we cannot make negative sentences in simple present tense. We cannot make, interrogative sentences. We cannot make information questions, right? So that's why we need helping or auxiliary verbs. But they do not have any meanings in sentences. They are meaningless. They are there for a grammatical function, okay? So now, if you want to use to be verbs in simple present tense, especially when you talk about some kind of facts, okay? So then, with I, you use am. This to be verb is specifically used with I am. And with the rest of them, are. With the rest of them, the to be verb is are. Okay, and now when we talk about facts, commonly we use linking verbs. Commonly we use linking verbs. Again, there will be a complete lesson about linking verbs, but now I just want to give you a short explanation of linking verbs, okay? Linking verbs are used to combine adjectives with their subjects, to link adjectives with their subjects. Okay, for example, you say the food tastes good. So good is an adjective. So the linking verb taste is there to link the adjective good with the subject and to show the condition of the subject. Linking verbs are used to show the condition of the subject. They don't show any actions unless they are used as action verbs. And again, they can be used as action verbs too, but when they are followed by noun, when they are followed by objects. So now, for example, he looks happy, he looks angry, these are all adjectives. He looks wealthy, he looks healthy, he looks handsome, she looks beautiful, right? So these are all adjectives. And linking verbs, kind of link these adjectives with the subjects to show the condition of the subject. Okay, so these are all linking verbs. To be verbs are all linking verbs, as in are in simple present tense. Okay, and was, were in simple past tense. So to be verbs are also linking verbs. So now look at these examples. As I said in the definition, that simple present tense or present simple tense is used to talk about regular, habitual, in daily actions. And this tense is also used to talk about facts, okay? So the first usage, look at the first example. She goes to school every day. What kind of action do you think it is? It is a daily action. It is something that happens on daily basis, okay? She goes to school every day. You come to your class every day. He, goes to the gym every day, for example, okay? And the second sentence says he exercises for an hour every day. Now, if you say he exercises every day, okay, and you do not mention this time duration for an hour, it's going to be just daily action, right? He exercises every day. But he exercises for an hour every day, so that is a habitual action. Why? Because he can exercise for 2 hours, less than an hour, or more than an hour. But exercising exactly for an hour is his habit, okay? Or for example, look, he smokes 5 cigarettes a day. So it's what? It's a kind of habit. It's a kind of habit, okay? Or for example, she goes to bed at 10 p.m. every night. So going to bed at exactly 10 p.m. every night is her habit. So it became a kind of a habitual action. I hope you got the point.
Yes.
Number 3, your English gets better day by day. Your English gets better day by day. It's something gradual. It's something which happens gradually, little by little, step by step. Okay, day by day your English gets better. Okay, Kabul city becomes modern, step by step. You can say step by step, you can say day by day, right? The tall buildings that we have in Kabul city nowadays didn't exist, for example, 10 years ago. So Kabul city becomes modern day by day or step by step. Okay. So in this case, we talk about a gradual action or a regular action, something that happens. Okay, for example, the water in Kabul River increases little by little because it's winter. If it rains a lot, if it snows a lot, so the water increases in Kabul River. So again, it is something regular. It is something that happens regularly or gradually, little by little, step by step, day by day, okay? So that was usage number 3. Keep in mind that all of us, all English learners need to learn the usages of each tense. That's very important. So first, the structure. You need to know the structure, how to make your sentences correctly, how to use your words correctly in a tense, okay? So those are the rules, those are the structures. But usages, how to use and when to use a tense correctly. You got it? If you don't know how to use English tenses correctly, obviously you cannot speak the language accurately and fluently. I mean, fluency doesn't mean just talking faster. Fluency means talking correctly, okay? And without stopping. So you can express your ideas. You can say whatever you want to say in a language. And if you can do that, it means, your English is fluent, okay? But it takes time. It needs a lot of practice. It needs a lot of, hard work, right? Okay, so the bus arrives at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Look, we can also use present simple tense to talk about future scheduled actions, especially when we talk about trips and traveling. Okay? For example, something is scheduled. You have scheduled a conference or meeting, and it will be taking place at an exact time tomorrow. So you can say, we will have a conference at 2 p.m. tomorrow. So something that is scheduled to happen, to take place in the future. Simple present tense can be used to talk about future scheduled or planned or timed actions. That's possible. I told you, especially when we talk about, traveling and trips. Or for example, Comair leaves Kabul City at 5 p.m. tomorrow morning and arrives in New Delhi at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Look, we talk about something that is scheduled, of course. You want to buy a ticket, right? And it's written right there that what time the airplane leaves. You got it? So if you talk about that kind of scheduled actions in the future, you can use simple present tense. Understood? Yes. Otherwise, you have other, cases. You have simple future tense to talk about future actions with will and be going to, right? But when we talk about scheduled actions, you can use simple present tense as well, okay? So that's possible. So 4 usages, and these are the most common usages. And then we have, a 5th usage over here is the 5th usage when we talk about facts, okay? So enough, this much is enough. And you can do your own research if you would like to know even more usages of this tense. But these are the most common usages of simple present tense. Okay? If you practice only these 5 usages, I'm pretty sure that you can use this tense correctly in your daily spoken and written English. Okay? So now, when we talk about facts, as I said before, we usually use linking verbs to talk about facts. So linking verbs like look and taste and smell and seem and be verbs, SMR. To be verbs, SMR. Look at these examples. So we have universal facts which are not changeable, and we have general facts which are changeable. Okay. He is a student. What kind of fact is this? It is a general fact and it is changeable. Okay. He may not be a student in the future. After a few years, he may be a doctor or an engineer, right? So it's a changeable fact. She looks happy today. Again, so look, this is a linking verb. To be verb is a linking verb. Yes. So we talk about facts using linking verbs, right? So she looks happy today. Again, happy is an adjective, right? So what does it do? The linking verb links the adjective with the subject to show the condition of the subject. What is the condition of the subject? Happiness. Happiness, okay? So she is happy today. Again, it is a fact, but what kind of fact? A changeable fact. In these 2 examples, the sky is high and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very kind. So the sky is high, it is a universal fact and it's not changeable. It will be always high, right? Yeah. So, universal facts which are not changeable and general facts which are changeable. And now we have some words over here called adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency, which are most commonly used in simple present tense. They're commonly not used in other tenses. I don't say that they cannot be used at all, but most commonly they are used in simple present or present simple tense. Usually, always, sometimes, rarely, hardly ever, never, okay? And they have a kind of percentage, but now I want to just tell you that you can use them after subject and before verb. For example, he usually goes to the gym in the morning. Sometimes can be used before subject and after subject and at the end of your sentence too. For example, sometimes I watch movies on YouTube. I sometimes watch movies on YouTube. I watch movies on YouTube sometimes. So this, adverb frequency can be used before subject, after subject, and at the end of your sentence. Okay. The rest of them are commonly used right after subject. I always, look, I subject in, okay? Yes, I rarely, I hardly ever, I never. So never, zero, the percentage is zero, okay? So adverbs of frequency means that how often something happens, okay? The question is usually with how often do you go to the market? How often do you watch movies? How often do you drink coffee, for example, okay? So these adverbs of frequency can be also used in simple present tense. And now I just wanna show you how to use all the 7 forms. How many forms? 7 forms of sentences in simple present tense, quickly, okay? And then you will be making examples in sentences. So now, the first form, we're gonna put just one idea in all of these 7 forms. And keep in mind that we have these 7 forms in all 12 tenses. In all 12 tenses, you can make 7 types of sentences. How many? 7. Forms. 7, okay? In 7 forms, you can make sentences. So, look at this example. He writes a letter. He writes a letter. It's affirmative, declarative. You can say, according to grammar, affirmative, declarative, positive sentence, right? So this is form number 1. Number 2, you can use negative form. So he does not write a letter. Is the negative form. But do not forget, when we use a negative sentence and the subject is he, she, it, look, in affirmative sentence, the verb takes S or ES, okay? When you want to change it to negative or interrogative, and the verb doesn't need S anymore. Why? Because, do takes ES, it becomes does, okay? Therefore, the main verb doesn't need S or ES. Understood? Don't forget this. This is one of the important rules. So he does not write a letter, or the short form would be he doesn't write a letter. And now, okay, number 3, interrogative or yes/no question form. What do we need first? We need does. Why? Because our subject is he. If the subject is he, she, it, we need the helping verb does. If the subject is I, you, we, they, then we need do, right? Okay. So does he write a letter? And question mark. Does he write a letter? Yes, no question, right? Okay, number 4. Negative interrogative sentence. Negative interrogative sentence. So now we have a complete form for negative interrogative sentences, and we have a short form which is commonly used in spoken English a lot. So does he not write a letter? So this is the complete form. Does he not write a letter? You bring subject between a helping verb and the word not, okay? Does he not write a letter? And now the short form, which is very, very common in spoken English, is doesn't. Doesn't he write a letter? So now look, Negative interrogative, complete form. Negative interrogative, short form. Again, in information questions, you can use these two forms. You can use just interrogative form in information questions, and you can use the short form as well, okay? So number 5. Now look at number 6. Why does he, okay, so why does he write a letter? Why does he write a letter? So it's information question, number 6, right? Number 7, you can use negative interrogative form in information questions as well, okay? For example, you can say, why does he not write a letter? I said 7. I said 7, but we can even have 8 forms in each tense. Why? Because now, why does he not write a letter? The subject comes between, does he not, and is the complete form of negative interrogative sentences, right? You can use the short form of negative interrogative sentences in information questions as well. So that's going to be number 8. Okay? So you can say, why, instead of why does he not write a letter, you can say, why doesn't he write a letter? So 8 forms in all 12 tenses. In each tense, you can use these 8 forms, okay? Affirmative or positive or declarative. Number 2, negative. Number 3, interrogative or yes/no question. Number 4, negative interrogative, complete form, when the subject comes between helping verb does and not, okay? And negative interrogative, short form, when doesn't or don't is used before subject. Now the subject is he, so doesn't. If the subject is we, don't. Don't we write a letter? Don't I write a letter? Don't you write a letter? Don't they write a letter? Okay? See that? Okay, now, why does he write a letter? Information question. Now, in information questions, you can use negative interrogative forms. So why does he not write a letter? The complete form of negative interrogative, sentence and information questions. And why doesn't he write a letter? The short form, which is very common in spoken English. So don't forget that we have 8 actually, 8 forms of sentence in all 12 tenses. Exactly. Usually the complete form is used in formal English and the short form is used in informal spoken English. Okay? Like don't and doesn't and okay? The short forms are used in informal spoken English and the complete forms are used in formal academic English, especially when you write something academic, like an academic essay, like your personal statement, like an application, your resume, something, like formal email. So I hope you got the point. Any questions? Any questions regarding simple present tense or present simple tense? Is everything clear?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So there are 2 possibilities. Either you understood everything, that's why you don't have any questions, or you didn't understand anything. That's why you don't have any questions, okay? So there are 2 possibilities, right? Which one is correct? You understood everything? Okay. No questions at all? Okay.
I had a question which I asked.
Okay, yeah. Okay, fine. So can you make examples? Look, when you make examples, try to use different forms. Don't just use like affirmative. He does that and she does that and I do that and no. Affirmative, negative, interrogative, information, questions, okay? Use negative forms. You can also use to be verbs and linking verbs in simple present tense, okay? Which don't show any actions. So I've already explained the idea of action verbs and state verbs. Like we have state verbs which do not show actions and we have action verbs, right? Which show physical actions. So I hope everything is clear, okay?
Once explain this link word.
So linking verbs, look, you can use this look as a linking verb. If it is followed by an adjective, it functions as a linking verb. For example, it would be brought after. Yes, if they are followed by adjectives, okay, they function as linking verbs. If they are followed by objects, for example, I'm looking at him, I'm looking at you, I'm looking at Jamal, okay? So Jamal, him, you, object, right? Then they function as action verbs. Understood? Okay, for example, the food tastes delicious. The food tastes delicious. Okay, delicious is what? It's an adjective. So the verb taste functions as a linking verb because it links the adjective delicious with the subject, the food, right? It doesn't show action, it shows the condition of the subject. So, tasting good is a condition, is not an action. But if I say I'm tasting the food or she is tasting the food, in this case, it is followed by food, which is object, and it functions as an action verb. So they can action both as action verbs or as linking verbs. The to be verbs do not function as action verbs. Never, ever. They always function either as state verbs when it shows the state of the subject, or they are used as linking verbs when they link adjectives with the subjects. If they are used as main verbs, because they can be also used as helping verbs to give ing to the main verb in simple present tense and present continuous tense, past continuous tense, right? In all continuous tenses, a form of the to be verbs is used in order to give ing to the main verb and to give us an idea that the action is in progress or the action is going on. I hope you got the answer. Okay. Any other questions?
So
Yeah.
we can add the duration of time in these forms.
We can add duration of time.
Yeah.
For example,
Can we he writes a letter at p.m. At 7 o'clock.
yeah, he writes a letter at 7 o'clock tomorrow. When you talk about a scheduled action in the future, you mention the exact time expression in the future. But if you want to mention the duration of something, like, for an hour, for 2 hours, then you need present perfect or present perfect continuous tense. He has been writing a letter for 2 hours, or he has, for example, lived in Kabul for 2 years or something like that, okay? When you want to mention that kind of duration, you need present perfect or present perfect continuous tense. Understood? Yeah. You can talk about the frequency of actions using these verbs of frequency, okay? Usually, always, often, even, I forgot to write often is itself, the adverb of frequency. So examples, come on. Yep.
He plays football.
Every day, yes, he plays football every day. Change it to negative.
He don't.
He doesn't.
He doesn't play
Football, yeah. If you hear an American saying that he don't play football every day, you should know that's slang, that's informal. According to grammar, that's not correct. Because I've heard Americans using do for, he and she. He don't know, she don't know, okay? It's okay, you cannot tell them that you're wrong. Why? Because it's their own language. But you can just say, okay, it's informal, it's slang, it's just amyana, it's informal, right? It's slang. Yeah. Follow the rules, okay? Because you learn English according to the rules in grammar. He writes a topic, yeah, that's right.
You look handsome.
You look handsome today. Do I? Yeah. Do I? Okay, thank you. Thank you, yeah. Yep.
I come to course at 1 o'clock.
I come to my course, I come to my class at 1 o'clock every day. That's right.
Do we not go to computer classes every morning?
Say again.
Do we not go to computer classes every morning?
Or short form.
Don't we go to computer classes every morning?
Yeah. Don't we go to computer classes every day? Yes. Anybody else?
Do the student look fresh?
Do the students look?
Fresh.
And now change it to negative.
Don't the student look fresh?
It's negative interrogative, right? Now change it to negative. The students
The students
don't look
fresh.
Yep. Anybody else?
I buy step one book.
I buy a step one book every month. You mentioned something like, that happens regularly or habitually or on daily basis, okay?
Do I buy step one book?
Yeah, that's right, that's right. Anybody else? Yep.
Tomorrow. She walks every tomorrow.
She walks every morning.
Every morning.
She walks every morning in order to stay healthy.
Shahram does exercise every day.
Yeah, or we can just say Shahram exercises every day. Yeah. Shahram exercise. Exercise itself is a verb, okay? So Shahram exercises every day. Look over here. Okay, the verbs, okay, which end with SHCHXOZ take ES. And other verbs take only S. So exercise, exercises, okay? There's one more verb to be written over there. If there is S at the end of, a verb, S already, like bless, blesses, or double S sometimes, okay? Exercise, exercises. I mean, there's already E, all it takes, S. Actually, yep, come on.
He calls to me every day.
He calls me every day, yep.
Doesn't he come to Atarut?
Doesn't he come to Atarut? Yep, that's right.
Do you go to America every year?
Does he go to America every year? That's what? That's right. Why does he go to America every year? Because his family lives there and he's got a job in Afghanistan. He makes a lot of money over here and takes all of our money to the United States to spend it there, right? There are a lot of people who work with the current government. They take our money back to the United States, right?
He goes to park every day.
He goes to park every day. That's right.
Ahmad goes to Pakistan.
Ahmad goes to Pakistan at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Ahmad leaves Kabul city for Pakistan at 2 p.m. tomorrow, at 5 a.m. tomorrow, okay? So you should specify the exact time when you want to use simple present tense for future action. There should be a scheduled specific time at 7 a.m., at 7 p.m., at, okay, exact time. Then you can use present simple tense to talk about future actions, okay? Yeah, this much is enough. Have a great time and bye-bye for now.